Okay, let's talk about it. That feeling of anxiety when you have to use English at work. Today, we're going to flip that script, turning that anxiety into real, actual confidence with some super practical strategies you can start using, well, right away.
I mean, if you've ever started a job in an English-speaking office, you know that feeling, right? That little knot in your stomach before a meeting or when you have to chat with your manager. It is so common. You're definitely not alone in this.
This thought right here, if this has ever run through your head, you know just how paralyzing that fear of making a mistake can be. But what if the answer isn't what you think it is?
Here it is. This is probably the most important thing you'll hear today. Your goal is not perfect grammar. It's just to be understood. In the workplace, being clear is so much better than being complicated. Every single time. You got to remember that.
So first up, let's crack the code of the daily grind. This is all about getting a handle on the basics you deal with every single day. Your tasks, your schedule, and yeah, those deadlines.
Does this sound a little too familiar? Trying to juggle every single task in your head is just a recipe for stress and honestly for making mistakes. It's a really common trap, but luckily there's a simple way out.
So instead of trying to be a memory champion, just give your day a little structure. First thing, check your emails and calendar to see what's on your plate. Then just pick only three, main things to get done. And seriously, don't skip the breaks. They're actually crucial for getting stuff done and for connecting with your coworkers.
The deadline. Just seeing that word pop up in an email can make your heart rate jump, right? It feels like this big, scary threat, like a final exam for your work. But we really need to change how we think about it.
So here's the key. You got to shift your perspective. A deadline isn't a weapon aimed at you, it's a tool. It's like a signpost on a trail, helping you and your whole team stay organized and on track. But okay, let's be real. What happens when you just know you're not going to make it? The number one, most important rule is this: communicate, early and often. Silence is what causes the real problems. Trust me, your manager would much rather know about a delay beforehand than be surprised at the last second. A simple phrase like this is perfect. It's polite, it's professional, and it's direct. You're not making excuses, you're actually proposing a solution. And that kind of proactive communication, it builds a ton of trust and shows you're on top of your work.
All right, next challenge, the office meeting. For so many of us, this is the big one. It's the high-pressure zone where that fear of speaking up can feel absolutely overwhelming.
And there it is. This is the core fear, isn't it? The worry that everyone's just watching you, judging every word that comes out of your mouth. But remember our main rule, clarity over perfection. Let's see what that actually looks like.
I mean, just look at the difference here. On the one hand, you have this long, winding, hesitant sentence. On the other, I think this works. It's short, it's clear, and it's confident. That's what people respond to in a meeting.
Here are some really simple but powerful phrases to put in your back pocket. See, you don't need to give a huge speech. Just showing you're engaged with the simple, "I agree," or asking for help with, "Could you repeat that?" is a fantastic way to be part of the conversation. It shows you're paying attention.
Okay, so let's zoom out from just meetings and talk about all those other daily conversations. You know, how to talk to your manager, how to give feedback to a coworker. This is where those really strong working relationships are made. This is a classic question, right? Especially when you're new. Do you use Mr. or Miss? Is it all business all the time? Well, the answer can be a little different depending on the office, but there are some pretty simple guidelines to follow.
So the reality is, in a lot of modern workplaces, using first names is totally the norm, even with the big boss. But you know what the golden rule is? If you're not sure, just ask. It's a sign of respect, not a sign of weakness. And of course, always aim for that clear, direct communication we keep talking about.
Now, giving feedback, that can feel like walking on eggshells. You don't want to come across as rude or overly critical. The trick is to frame it so it's polite, helpful, and all about making the work better. It's not about finding fault, it's about finding ways to improve together.
This right here is a perfect formula. You start with something positive, something you genuinely liked. Then, you frame your suggestion as an addition. Maybe we can also try this. This makes people feel appreciated and way more open to your ideas, instead of getting defensive. Okay, so we've talked a lot about the words you say. But being successful at work is also about understanding the culture. You know, all those unwritten rules that nobody ever tells you about. You know what's interesting? All of these cultural tips really boil down to one simple idea: respect. Being on time respects other people's time. Direct communication respects their attention.
And a good work-life balance, that shows respect for the fact that healthy, rested people do the best work. It's all connected.
I just love this metaphor because it's so true. It really gets to the heart of having a sustainable career. You can't just burn yourself out in the first week. The real goal is to work smart, keep your energy up, and find a pace that you can maintain for the long haul.
And that's exactly why that marathon mindset is so important. Your hobbies, getting enough sleep, spending time with family and friends, that's not time you're taking away from work. That's the time that recharges your battery. It's the fuel for your best ideas and your highest productivity when you are at work. So, as we wrap this up, I'm going to leave you with a question. Think about it for a second. What's your biggest challenge when it comes to communicating at work? Is it meetings? Is it deadlines? Figuring out what that is, well, that's the first step to turning your biggest challenge into your greatest strength.